Right, hey guys, how are we doing? Back under the video from Too Spooky, been a while. And today we're checking out 25 Chainsaw Man facts that you probably didn't know. Pretty good timing, pretty sure part 2's happening roundabout now-ish. And I loved Chainsaw Man part 1. Can't wait for the anime to come out. Let's learn some stuff. Let's get educational, shall we?
How's it going, everybody?
Too Spooky here.
And with part 2 of the series dropping later today,
Oh,
I
that close?
It's finally time
Whoa.
for us to count down 25 facts about Chainsaw Man.
Let's do it.
We'll be covering everything from generally unknown information about the series, its characters, its conception, the creator,
Can't
and
wait
more.
for the anime.
As a word of warning before we jump in,
Spoilers.
my pronunciation is
the names.
not good. Now, without any more delay, let's jump right into it. Number 1. Chainsaw Man officially began on December 3rd of 2018. Serialized in Weekly Shonen Jump and written by Tatsuki Fujimoto. Part 1 of the series would then conclude on December 14th of 2020, just 2 years later, where it was announced that Part 2 of the series would begin publication within the online publication Shonen
so it actually ended 2 years ago.
which notably distances itself from the typical shonen archetype despite its shonen title. Part 2 of the series begins on July 13th of 2022. While only out for a short time, Chainsaw Man has already become immensely popular and gained quite
It's really grown in popularity recently, hasn't it? My god. I go into Waterstones and they're just showing off all 10 volumes.
Sending it on its way to become one of the best-selling manga series of all time.
Oof.
In fact, in 2021, it was the 7th best-selling manga that year, having sold 5 million copies that year alone.
Sick.
Number 2. Tatsuki Fujimoto was born on October 10th of either 1992 or 1993 in Nakaho, Akita Prefecture, Japan.
No.
It's currently unknown which year is correct because anyone with personal connections to Fujimoto has provided differing reports on the exact year,
That's so weird.
making him either 28 or 29 at the making of this video.
Huh.
Not much is known about his personal upbringing, but in a dual interview with Hiroaki Samura, the mangaka behind Blade of the Immortal, Fujimoto mentioned that he had no art schools in his area growing up, so his only art experience early on was taking an oil painting class with his grandparents.
Oh, wow.
He didn't actually start drawing until much later in high school, although in high school he would upload his attempts at manga to the website Shintosha. He would later pursue art studies as he grew up and eventually attend and graduate from Tohoku University of Art and Design in 2014, focusing on Western painting. Before his serializations, he would release a plethora of one-shots, the first of which he released in 2011, called There Were Two Chickens in the Garden, which ended up getting nominated for the Jump SQ
That looks dead
award.
weird.
From 2013 to 2015, he would also release the one-shots Sense of Justice, Paper Planes, Sasaki Has Stopped the Bullet, Love is Blind, Shikaku, Siren Rhapsody, and Nayuta of the Prophecy, many of which were either nominated for or won various awards. The majority of these one-shots would later be compiled and released in 2 volumes called Tatsuki Fujimoto Before Chainsaw Man.
Oh right, okay, quite a simple title.
In 2023. In 2015, Fujimoto would get his first serialization, Fire Punch, which ran from
that's
April
everywhere
18th
as well,
of
Fire Punch.
2016 to January 1st of 2018, gaining him a bit of notoriety before beginning Chainsaw Man and soaring into popularity later that year. In addition to all of that, Fujimoto also released the one-shots When I Woke Up I Had Become a Girl Disease, Little Sister's Elder Sister, Look Back, Goodbye Airy, and Listen to Me Normally, before, during, and after Chainsaw Man's serialization, at least for part 1. Goodbye Airy is a personal favorite of mine, and if you want to know a little more about it, I actually made a video not long ago discussing it. Click the card in the top right-hand corner of the screen to learn more. Number 3. In December of 2020, it was announced that an anime adaptation of Chainsaw Man was in the works, being produced by MAPPA. Since then, no official release date has been revealed, but it has been confirmed the anime will be airing sometime in 2022. Fujimoto has went on record to say
this year is going to be so freaking sick for anime. It's already been decent, but
input here and there, he's comfortable leaving the adaptation completely in their hands. Namely because he doesn't have any experience in making anime.
Makes sense. He doesn't have a clue, then why get involved?
In becoming an animator himself after Chainsaw Man's serialization is over. Number 4. While not as well known, Chainsaw Man also has a light novel, which was released on November 4th of 2021.
Oh.
The light novel is called Chainsaw Man Buddy Stories, written by Sakaku
Oh.
Ishikawa, featuring illustrations and approval from Fujimoto himself.
Cool.
Buddy Stories tells 3 separate stories surrounding various pairs of characters to illustrate the theme of being buddy pals.
Yeah, cool.
Those pairs being Denji and Power, Kishibe and Quanchi in the past when they were partners,
Awesome.
and Temeno and Aki when they first met.
Cool.
Number 5. Apparently, while Fujimoto was in junior high school, he created an imaginary magazine similar to Shonen Jump in his head, having entire series that were serialized within his brain, even cutting and adding some to make sure that there were always 7 series serialized at any given time within his mind.
What a
From
weird
his
thing to
past
do.
imagination, this is where he ultimately created Makima, as she was a character from a serialization that he made up called Breath of the Stars. Because of that, Makima was the first character Fujimoto thought up when initially creating Chainsaw Man. Number 6. When it came to the initial idea for Chainsaw Man, Fujimoto apparently thought of the idea during the serialization of Fire Punch, initially coming up with the simple idea of pulling a chainsaw cord out of someone's chest and then a chainsaw popping out of their head. Thinking the visuals would be really cool, he talked the idea over with his assistants at the time to figure out the logistics of making that work. His assistants at the time also included some very notable names in manga today: Yuji Kaku, the author of Hell's Paradise, Oto Toda, the author of Niku Haku, and Tatsuya Endo, the author of Spy X Family. So each of those future mangaka could have directly helped create the prototype for Chainsaw Man.
Crazy.
Fujimoto chose a chainsaw specifically because he thought it was a rough, cool, iconic weapon, and the classic horror film, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, was what inspired him to pick a chainsaw in the first place. Number 7. While part 2 of the series is being moved over to Jump Plus, during an interview Fujimoto discussed his serialization in Shonen Jump, about how Chainsaw Man was very unique in terms of what you would normally find in a Jump manga, going on to say that he always wanted to bring Chainsaw Man's serialization to Shonen Jump. But what he feared was his series would end up being buried among all the other series
all the bigger hits that are out there,
Jump-like. Because of that, he wanted to push what it means to be a Jump manga by bringing forth his individuality as a creator, instead opting to only keep the characters and structure typical to Jump, while going crazy with everything else, going on to say that only a few of his ideas were put to rest during the drafting stages. Otherwise, he was allowed to do whatever he wanted regarding the logic of the story. Number 8. While Chainsaw Man itself is certainly far outside the typical Jump manga, Denji was created with the idea of being a realistic main protagonist, rather than trying to rebel against the law of ambitious protagonists within the shonen genre. While developing
I see, like, I'm going to be Pirate King, or I'm going to be Hokage.
Going on to say that this generation of individuals don't go out of their way to seek such large goals or ambitions the majority of the time. They don't seek out massive riches or anything of the like, and instead want to live a simple life day by day, commenting that he thinks it's a good way to live, and is why he created Denji with an extremely low ambition. Number 9.
That's great.
Due to Chainsaw Man's popularity and the amount of letters he receives from fans, Fujimoto has opted to continue not showing his face, specifically saying, "I don't show my face because I'm afraid of being killed." His editor would go on to comment that because of how sensitive some Japanese fans can get in regards to characters being killed, for instance, Fujimoto is no stranger to death threats, which only amplifies his fear of being killed.
That is so grim that happens.
Number 10. After 2 years of delays due to COVID, the Angoulême International Comics Festival in France finally took place in 2022. At this comics festival, Fujimoto had his own art exhibition, and there he left a message talking about his next manga. "I wanted to create something about the femme fatale. I love this image, the typical woman who..." If you're a fan of the femme fatale, it looks like Fujimoto has you covered at some point in the future. Number 11. Before he received his first serialization with Fire Punch, Fujimoto used to send his editor new manuscript ideas constantly, going on to say that at his peak, he would send a new one pretty much every single day for quite a while, also going on to say that they were all really bad, and maybe 1 out of 10 would have any substance whatsoever. After having to reject him so many times, his editor eventually sat him down and told him to think about them some more before actually drawing them. After doing just that, Fire Punch was born, and the rest is history. Number 12. Chainsaw Man is inspired from a number of different manga, such as Parasite and Shigurui.
Do you know what?
When
I totally get the
describing
Parasite
Chainsaw
influence
Man,
there, yeah.
Fujimoto described it as Wicked Fooly Cooly and Pop Abada, which are two series that have also heavily influenced Chainsaw Man as a whole. With Abara in particular, two notable influences would be the fact that Denji's name comes from the main character of Abara, Kudo Denji, and Puchita's true form was likely influenced by the Black Gana. Number 13.
Cool.
In addition to the last fact, when it comes to developing the various demons' appearances, Fujimoto generally likes to take design influences from various movies,
very
manga,
strange.
comics, and various art he finds online. He has a massive collection of art scrapbooked for reference, and he mashes about 3 or 4 of these references together to come up with the demons found in Chainsaw Man. Number 14. Aki's name is based on the AK-47, not only in reference to his quest to get revenge on the Gun Devil, but in reference to where his quest would take him later on. Additionally, in regards to his appearance,
that was dark.
his hair is supposed to resemble a handgun's firing hammer for the exact same reason. He was also originally meant to be Himeno's older brother in the initial planning phase for the series. Number 15. Power's name was inspired by Powers, an angel from the middle order of Christian angelic hierarchy.
Oh, okay.
While the character's personality was inspired from a mixture of Walter Sobchak from The Big Lebowski and Eric Cartman from South Park.
I heard that Eric Cartman was an
16.
influence for her.
Chainsaw Man takes place during the year 1997, which you may have realized from the inclusion of things like the arcade and the Dance Dance Machine that brought out Kobeni's iconic dance. Additionally, Fujimoto allegedly decided to draw Kobeni's iconic dance scene because the manga had been immensely depressing up to that point, and he wanted something funny
really
to lighten
was.
the mood.
Get that.
Number 17. In My Hero Academia chapter 259, Denji makes a cameo within the crowd of heroes. This scene will also be featured in the upcoming new season of My Hero Academia's anime.
Awesome.
Although from the recent trailer depicting this scene, the color scheme for
different.
Denji has been changed.
Just a
18.
bit.
Chainsaw Man has also been referenced in a few other manga. As for instance, in the manga Me and Roboco, they frequently show the main characters reading it and commenting on the latest developments. And the manga Shy had the character Renoir cosplay as Makima, or as they call it, Akima from Saw Blade Man.
Saw Blade
Number
Man,
19.
cool.
Bit of a spoiler in this fact, so skip to this time code to avoid it. Fujimoto hit a wall when it came to killing off a certain character. He couldn't decide between killing off Kobeni or the Angel Devil. His editor gave his input and suggested the Angel Devil, so Fujimoto killed them off soon after. The Angel Devil was also theorized to possibly still be alive, but at Jump Festa 2022, Fujimoto confirmed that they were indeed dead.
Damn.
Number
Okay,
20.
there we go.
In reference to Fujimoto's previous serialization, Fire Punch, Kobeni has the same exact beauty marks on their face as the character Togata, although Kobeni has one extra mole on the left side. Additionally, Kobeni was originally meant to have more piercings when she was initially designed. Number 21. Fujimoto is known to add references from various movies and media to his work. Two notable examples in Chainsaw Man would be Quan Chi and Yoshida's fight being based on the movie The Raid 2, and Makima's last fight against Chainsaw Man being based off Shinobu and Aragagi's fight in the Kizumona.
I've seen the clips of that.
In
Wow,
fact,
that's
Fujimoto's
mental.
best advice for new and
Mental.
upcoming mangaka is to sign up for Netflix and watch as many movies as possible. Number 22. We mentioned Fujimoto's various one-shots earlier, one of which was called Nayuta of
Well,
the
I really
Prophecy,
like the
which is
JoJo's
essentially about a girl
not
who's
JoJo's,
prophesied to bring about the
Berserk
destruction
references
of
that he
the
threw
entire
in.
world.
On the
Some
shark,
of you may have already noticed
where
this,
it's meant to
but a
be
character
guts
in
fire
Chainsaw
flying
Man shares that same name.
Zod.
It's a bit of a spoiler, so skip to this time code to avoid it. But the Control Devil Reborn is named Nayuta after this one-shot, and they even look alike. So it's possible that Nayuta from Fujimoto's one-shot is essentially being brought over from that into Chainsaw Man, and will obviously play a pivotal role in part 2 of the series. We'll have to see if the characters end up being similar in characterization once part 2 finally drops. Number 23. So far, there have been 2 popularity polls for the series, the first of which received a total of 231,201 votes.
Damn.
The top 5 most popular characters from the first poll were Denji in 5th place with 18,302 votes,
Amazing.
Riz in 4th place with 19,079 votes, Aki in 3rd place with 25,704 votes, Makima in 2nd place with 27,224 votes, and finally Power in 1st place with 35,268 votes. In the second popularity poll, which took place about a year later, It received a whopping 620,045 votes, truly showing the growth in the series' popularity. The top 5 most popular characters are all the same this time around, however their placement is a bit different. This time Rize fell to 5th place with 45,741 votes. Denji rose to 4th place with 59,130 votes. Power fell to 3rd place with 69,850 votes. Makima held on to 2nd place with 76,733 votes. And finally, Aki rose to 1st place with 88,868 votes.
I reckon because of the gun devil thing that happened with him.
Number 24.
Got emotional, right?
In addition to the last fact, the Chainsaw Man popularity polls also illustrate just how popular some of the side characters are. As in the first poll, Kobeni placed 8th, with a total of 9,580 votes, while Kobeni's car placed above her in 7th place, with a total of 9,878 votes. And rightfully so. I mean, where would we be without Kobeni's car?
That's true.
While Kobeni's car fell drastically to 15th place in the second poll, 2 new side characters swept the competition, as Power's breast pads took 25th place with 2,330 votes.
Jesus.
And Tatsuki Fujimoto himself took 16th place with 6,309 votes. There are a few other interesting side characters that made the list, but because of big spoilers, you might want to read through the polls yourself to see what you're missing. And now the moment you've all been waiting
Number
for.
25.
Number 25. This final fact does contain some spoilers about the ending of Part 1, so if you've yet to read the series or are waiting for the anime, now might be your time to skip ahead or leave the video. But in regards to the final chapter of Part 1, Fujimoto spoke about it in an interview, revealing that it was a hard chapter for him to draw, as Denji is his favorite character, and considering Denji has always been chasing maternal things, what Denji had to do to Makima was Denji finally achieving just that. Because you see, Denji didn't actually want love from Makima, at least not in a romantic sense. Instead, it was more of a maternal relationship since his mother died at a young age. Fujimoto described a chainsaw cutting into Makima almost as if cutting into her was Denji becoming a mother himself. And what he ultimately wanted to do was tell the story of Denji becoming a mother, the thing he's longed for all along. Kind of changes your perspective of the last chapter after you learn Fujimoto's intentions behind it.
Yeah.
But this concept was there the entire time, as the inspiration for Makima's name comes from Mama, as if you remove the K-I and that's what you get.
Okay.
Considering Makima was reincarnated as Neyuda, whom is left in Denji's care, the idea of Denji becoming a mother has truly come full circle.
Yeah.
And as for what to expect from Part 2 of Chainsaw Man, Fujimoto revealed in an interview that it will essentially start with the concept of Denji going to school, refusing to elaborate any further. So with Part 2 coming out right after this video is released, we'll have to see if that ends up being the case.
Cool.
But there you have it, everybody, 25 facts about Chainsaw Man. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and learned something new. If you did, make sure to drop a like. While you're at it, be sure to comment what series you'd like to learn about next, and subscribe with those notifications on so you don't miss the next video. I've got a lot of great stuff cooking up in the background, so stay tuned. You can also keep up with the channel by following me on Twitter at 2SpookyTube, or once again, catch me over on Twitch to hang out with me during some streams at 2Spookster. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon with the next video.
Cool. Some really cool, interesting facts, and I am very intrigued to see where the story is actually going to go next now. But then, yeah, we've got the anime as well. It'll be interesting to see if they make any changes or if they add stuff to it or whatnot. So, yeah, awesome. And thank you to my patrons. If you want to have your name at the end of every video I upload, links in the description of the Patreon page. $1 was all they ask to help support the channel. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you guys very much for that. And thank you all for watching. What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of this? Click like, subscribe, and leave comments down below. Let me know what I should watch and discuss in future videos, and I'll see you guys, all you guys, next time.